The tests are back. What do you think, Andy? It's exciting, isn't it? So I made a previous video, which I hope you've watched. Thank you for shoving a tennis ball in my mouth. If not, there'll be a link at the end and below here. And I did soil samples for all my garden beds because I was like, a little anemic kind of, it just seems like the last couple of years I haven't quite gotten that oomph out of the garden that I usually get. Let's talk about this. I sent off 3 samples. Those 2 beds were built the same time. These 2 beds were built the same time. And those 2 beds were built the same time. So I did 3 samples for 6 beds. Pair. Thinking, that'll give me a rough idea. I just rebuilt 2 beds. Video should post right about the same time this one does. Every one of them, when I opened it up, I printed it out for you here. Phosphorous, can you see that? Phosphorous is off the charts. I called my agronomist friend Scott, and he has his own podcast talking about soil and growing. But we went over this on the GardenFork Radio podcast, and he told me that, okay, yeah, your phosphorus is high, but almost everyone else's phosphorus is high as well. So that was a big relief. I'm like, oh, because I was thinking I had to do cover crops of legumes to get the phosphorus out. So yeah, there's a lot of phosphorus, but the plants will take it up. His bigger issue was the low number of potassium, interestingly enough. And that's the K of, a fertilizer, it has N, P, and K on it. So that's K. Potassium is K, P is K, But that potassium deficiency is easily fixed by this. You literally follow the instructions on the back, and we all know how good I am at following instructions. Those 2, they kind of listen. So yeah, what I thought was going to be a big problem isn't at all. And interestingly enough, my pH, I didn't really realize this about pH. If your pH is too low or too high, plants cannot pull nutrients out of your soil and bring them into the plant. And mine is 6.5, which is a very good number to have. And that was pointed out by my co-host Rick on the podcast. Basically, he said, yeah, my soil is good. I mean, the only other thing that can be added is some of the micronutrient manganese, which I can work on. But it was just kind of a relief. You like watching them? They do this whenever we go in the yard. They're like, let's run around. Even more interesting is I shared these test results with my good friend Erin of the Impatient Gardener YouTube channel, and she sent back her recent soil test. And look at this. Her phosphorus was really high too. So I'm not the only one. Your phosphorus may score high as well. Pay more attention to some of the elements, and also ask a local expert. Check with your local agricultural extension office. You'd be surprised how, there's information out there. It's not just the Google. You could actually talk to people like me. So interesting, Erin and I both have high phosphorus levels, and yeah, that's not the end of the world. Pay attention to some of the other fine print here. The micronutrients I found very interesting. The pH I found very interesting as well. Also, get your soil test done as local as possible. The Yukon testing station is about 100 miles from here. They know your soil type. They know more about your soil than someone halfway across the country does. So local soil test is the best one. This is my big secret ingredient. I got it at my local nursery. The beds, that's garlic coming up, are in good shape. And I don't know why did I wait so long to get a soil test? From now on, I think I'm gonna do this. The tests were $15 a piece, and it's peace of mind. I mean, I've spent $45 on one plant before, So get your soil tested and then let me know, or have your soil tested? Let me know, I'd like to hear about that. If you wanna spend some more time with me and those knuckleheads, should be a video floating right here, all right? See you next video, right there.